This is Rustam Sethna. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk about my grandfather, Dr. Rustam Cooper. There are several of us participating in this who are part of our family. My cousins, Rustam Dalal, Behram Dalal, Jaru Ranji, and my sister Mayor are all present today. So I'll ask them if they would like to share some anecdotes. They're welcome to do so. I will say this. I was only 7 years old when my grandfather passed away, but I still remember a lot about him. And he still touches our lives in many ways, I'd like to think. So what you should know is Rustam Cooper, we called him Dad, and his wife, Minnie Cooper. They both were very, very dear to our family and very loving. And they had three daughters, and each one of their daughters had a son called Rustam in honor of my grandfather. I remember a few things about him very distinctly. And one of the things that I remember about him is his gentleness, his avid curiosity. He was extremely well-read, and he had a passion for many different things, including painting, photography, and he had, I remember, a Bell and Howell camera. So whenever he went on vacation, he would carry it with him, and those movies we used to watch many years later, even after he had passed away. I know that he also was very interested in astronomy, and he had hoped that one day someone would land on the moon. Unfortunately, he passed away in 1966, and the event happened in 1969, I believe. So I remember that very, very clearly. And I remember the time when my parents had to go to Vienna, and my grandparents came to look after us. It was really delightful to just watch. Rustam Cooper, my grandfather, was extremely hardworking. This is a fact. And therefore, in the mornings, I would see him get up early and rush to the hospital. I noticed that he would just swallow 2 raw eggs to get a quick jolt of protein and then rush off to the hospital. This I remember distinctly. And he would come back, he would talk to us. He was very, very gentle with us, and I think of all of us, Behram probably was most mischievous, but he was very, very kind. And we heard a lot from our moms about Rustam Cooper's generosity with his patients, those who couldn't really afford a lot. He wouldn't charge them, and he'd slip money under their pillows. This is a fact. I remember going to Marshall Lodge where they lived. This is no longer there. And it was in Kumbala Hill. And I remember he would have a whole stack of National Geographic magazines, and this is something we would look at. And he was very interested in many, many different things, from, as I said, from literature to painting to different things. And he could paint really, really well. I also remember the time when he did my brother's tonsillectomy. and the patience and gentleness with which he cared for him was amazing. And I remember he'd come to the house to check on the stitches and to keep the throat moist. He would spray something in there, and he always suggested that he Sucrets. So today, since I'm not very well, I will have some Sucrets in his honor. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak about my illustrious grandfather. And thank you very much for remembering him.